So Clark, sometime I'd like to be able to go over to, what's the name of the cliff?
The cliffs.
The cliff, be able to go to the cliff with you and see what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by that, what you and your wife have done. So for you with the InBody, I mean, you were fit when you came in. It's not that you were trying to make some major difference. So what was it that really, why is it that you're interested whenever you come in here like religiously every month? Why do you do that?
Well, my wife and I have been rock climbing for about 3.5 years now, so I love to sort of see the relationship between the numbers that I get on this machine and sort of like the feeling that I have on the wall, because oftentimes when you're climbing, you're basically holding yourself up by the tips of your toes and your fingertips, so you often have a really good understanding for how you're feeling that day, whether you're feeling heavy or whether you're feeling light or whether you're feeling strong. So it's interesting to see whether the numbers that you get on the InBody machine correlate to how I feel on the climbing wall. And I think it's really interesting to measure if there's any performance gain or anything like that in relationship to climbing and, skeletal muscle mass or things like that.
I've not interviewed anybody from Cirque du Soleil, but when I talked to the people at InBody, they told me that, Cirque du Soleil is a big user of that. And so when you describe climbing a rock wall, that's the closest I think that I guess it's the same thing for them because they're holding people and bodies and all that stuff. So I find that's fascinating. It's interesting because the reason why we do the whole InBody, I call it going beyond the scale. When somebody hears it's a scale, they freak out because they're worried about the number. But it's interesting. Your story is extremely interesting because I love that we have everyday people that are just looking to maybe improve their health and well-being, and then people like yourself who are more like an athlete actually get something from the numbers that, if we're not that type of a person, we're not going to really get. So that's so fascinating. Is there anything in like 2020 that you're going to do that in the rock climbing world? I mean, you just said you came back from Chile. Are you going to be doing anything else that's kind of an interesting trip or something that kind of uses your skills along that line?
There's one trip in particular that my wife wanted to do that's in France. It's an area called Fontainebleau outside of Paris, and it's basically one of the top places that people go for a type of climbing called bouldering. And it's sort of the mecca of rock climbing, so I would love to be really strong going to Fontainebleau to sort of push my limits and see how good I really am on real rock, sort of taking it out of the gym and translating it to being out in nature and climbing and seeing how good I am out there. So one thing that I really want to do is double down on some of my training, particularly in finger strength and core strength. So I want to focus on strengthening my core just so I can really squeeze and sort of keep myself on the wall when I'm climbing, inverted at 30 plus degrees, and then strengthen my finger strength, just because finger strength and sort of body weight are when you're climbing at the high end of rock climbing are some of the most important things that you want to work on. You just can't be too heavy, and finger strength is really important to be able to really bear down on small holds and stay on the wall for extended periods of time. So going into 2020, I really want to focus on those things.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing what you've got so far, and it's a nice intro to seeing you and your wife over at the cliff. Look forward to seeing the difference between us having a conversation and you, like what the hell that looks like it being 30 degrees. It'll be fascinating to see a video of that. It'll be pretty cool. So I want to thank you for that.
No problem.